Okay, here I am at Math Playground. I'm going to teach you how to do a couple different things for your third video, maybe your fourth video. Maybe I'll combine it in one. Here at Math Playground, you're going to go to the problems. And for this, we're going to go to, just press the green button. That's too bad. I'm getting the spinning ball of doom. But when you get to the problems, you're going to go to the multiplication / division. I'm going to press multiply / divide right now. I'm going to go to critical thinking. These are the types of word problems that we want to be ready for. You guys are getting very good at math problem solving using tables. Well, you can't use a table all the time and for everything. Sometimes you're going to have to really use logic, or as this says, critical thinking. They're hard types of problems. I want you to be ready for them. Let me give you examples here. Jada sold 8 times as many candy bars as Nancy. If Nancy had sold 35 more candy bars, she would have tied Jada for first place. How many candy bars did Jada sell? Oh boy. It's a great problem for a note chart, boys and girls. Great problem for a note chart. I'd recommend when you're solving these on your own, making that note chart. Know what it's saying. I know this stuff. And I'm not going to do it for the sake of the tediousness of watching a video and have somebody make the note chart. You know how to do it. Jada sold 8 times as many candy bars as Nancy. This is where we're really going to use blocks and models to visualize it. You could draw this on your paper when you're solving them. So let's say this is Nancy. Well, whatever Nancy was, Jada was 8 times that. So if that was Nancy, it says Jada sold 8 times as much. Then this would be Jada. Or Jadfa. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jada sold 8 times as many. Well, here's where the problem comes in. It says if Nancy sold 35 more bars, she would have tied Jada. Think about it. This is why it's called critical thinking, boys and girls. If she sold 35 more, well, how many would she have to sell to 35 more? If she sold 35 more, they would have tied. Which means the value of this area must be 35. Because Nancy needed 35 more. So now let's break it up. Think about it. This part is the same. If Nancy sold 35 more, they would have tied. So this total must be equal to 35. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks are equal to 35. Which means you divide that by 7 blocks. Each one of these would equal 5. Because if Nancy sold this many more, 35 more, they would be tied. So each one of these spots, this 7 more blocks, must be 5 each. Which means Jada sold 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Nancy sold 5. That makes sense. Question is, how many did Jada sell? I will guarantee you the answer is 40, and I'm going to press check. 40 candy bars. There you go. We're going to do another problem. I want you can pause it because it's a video, to be a step ahead of me. Be a step ahead of me. I'm going to reset the board. Let me go to problems. Please don't give me the spinning ball of doom again. No. Multiply, divide, critical thinking. On the day after Halloween, Emma had 9 times as much candy as Dana. If Emma gives 20 pieces of candy to Dana, they will each have the same amount. How many pieces of candy do they have in all? Well, think about it. Emma had 9 times as much as Dana. So if this is Dana, Emma would be 9 times as much. So instead of 1 of these, 9 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If Emma gives, this problem's actually really, really, really hard. All right, so we have our 2 people. This is a different type of problem here. Dana and Emma. Emma had 9 times as much candy as Dana. If Emma gives 20 pieces of candy to Dana, they'll have the same amount. You need to think about, if she gives 20 pieces to Dana, they'll have the same amount. Well, think about it in terms of blocks. How many of these blocks would she need to give Dana to have the same amount? Still not the same. She's given her 1. Still not the same. She's given her 2. Still not the same. She's given her 3. Same. Emma gave Dana 4 of these blocks, and they wound up with the same amount. When she gave them 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, she wound up with the same. Now we know she gives D 4 blocks, and we know she gives her to be equal, and she knows those 4 blocks must be 20, because it says in the problem she gives her 20. So each block must be 5, 10, 15, 20. She gives her 5. Now, the question is, if she gave her these 20, they'd have the same amount. The question is, how many pieces do they have in all? Well, each one of these parts must be equal to 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. The answer will be 50. They have 50 in all. All right, next problem. I want you to solve it. Be a step ahead of me. Let me reset. Multiply, divide. Critical thinking. There were 7 times as many boys as girls at the magic show. If 24 girls moved up, there would have been an equal number of girls and boys. How many children were at the magic show? Set this up using the blocks. Not on the computer, but use it in your mind. Draw pictures, rather, not your mind. When you press play, you can see me solve it, but you solve it first. 7 times as many boys as girls. So if this is girls, this is me solving the problem now. This would be boys. 7 times as many boys as girls. 1. So if there are 1 group of girls, there would be 7 groups of boys. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If 24 more girls showed up, there would be the same number. We'll have 24 more girls. Well, you have to think, this is 7 times the number of girls. So 24 more girls showed up. You got to think, how many of these would they have to transfer here to be the same? 3 of them. And the value of those 3 is equal to 24. Because that's how many... Wait, if 24 more girls showed up. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. This is why we make mistakes, to learn from them. I'm doing this wrong. If 24 more girls showed up, there would have been an equal amount. So it doesn't say you're losing boys or... "24 more girls showed up," which means the value of this to tie them would have to be 24. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these blocks would be 24. So 24 divided by 6, so each of these would be 4. Let's make sure. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So the question is, how many children were at the magic show? 28, 32. The answer will be 32. Let me check it. Check. All right. That's it for this video. Know how to do this stuff. You will see it a lot more.